Okay, we're live, but just for a second, I know we don't have a lot of time, but we got to let it breathe while Facebook comes online. Bear with us 1 second here, gang. Got to let the stream breathe. You know the drill, and we're good. Welcome in, everybody, to a halftime edition, some rapid reaction from the Huddle Up podcast. I'm your host, Chad Jensen. With me, as always, my partner in crime. You know him, you love him, Zack Kelberman. Zack, so many people, this is my little seat, by the way, that my dog likes to just sit by me while I work. So many people were predicting the Broncos were just going to come into this game and get trucked. But even though, they've not been able to punch it in, so to speak, they're playing with some juice today.
The uninformed, Chad, predicted the Broncos to come in and get trucked. Those who follow the Broncos and those who know what Drew Lock brings to the offense, brings to the whole team with just his presence alone. His first pass play was a 40-yard bomb to Tim Patrick. It reminded me very reminiscent of the Houston Texans play last year. They have a great organic chemistry, and this offense is a whole different animal with Drew Lock at the controls. I will give Fangio credit for this. He has the Broncos ready to play today. That was one of my biggest criticisms, including against the Jets. The first touchdown drive was Sam Darnold. Look, the Broncos didn't want to even be in that stadium. Today, they came to Gillette. They want to win this game. They're being aggressive. They're taking shots down the field. They're trying to impose their will, and they're succeeding. The only thing I don't like so far is the score. This should at least be a 2-touchdown lead for Denver right now. Yeah. They cannot keep settling for field goals. They cannot keep getting small in the red zone. The play calling is not my favorite, a little too aggressive. Get the first downs, keep the drives going, punch it into the end zone. Chad, if they can just get the ball across the goal line, they can win this ball game. It's within reach.
This game should be 20-3 right now for the Broncos. And let me tell you guys real quick. I mean, this is all about, as we talked about in a lot of different articles leading up to this game, as we talked about on the podcast, Cam Newton is a different player if you stop the run and put some heat on him. And up to this point, the Broncos have held the Patriots. Let's talk about rushing yards. Let me find it here. Rush yards, the Broncos have held the Patriots to 37. Now, this is the most prolific rushing attack in the league. They're averaging 180 rush yards per game, and obviously there's still 2 quarters left to be played, Zach. 86 yards rushing for the Broncos, 37 for the Patriots. Meanwhile, the Broncos have 187 total yards to the Patriots 128. And we've also seen some opportunistic defensive plays. I mean, Shelby Harris, your boy, by the way, you finally made me a full believer in Shelby. I'm in like Flynn. All right.
Pay this man.
Keep him here for a long time. Give this dude what he deserves. But anyway, Shelby's tip, big Deshaun Williams. I mean, who was happy? How happy were you to see Deshaun Williams make a game-changing type play like that? I was just so happy for him with what his struggle has been getting onto the field in an actual regular season game in the NFL. But, Zach, my biggest takeaway so far, and we don't have a lot of time. We probably only have 10 more minutes, so get your questions, super chats. John will get them next in. But my biggest takeaway is this is a different team when Lock's under center. The juice is back. They're going to iron out the wrinkles over time, but the juice is back under center, and this team plays with a different energy now.
And the Broncos, you touched on the Broncos defense. The secondary, Chad, is playing phenomenally well. Cam Newton has all day to throw the football, and he just can't go anywhere with it. There's been a couple coverage sacks. Anthony Chicolo's gotten in there. I mean, the Broncos defense is finally, for my money, even though they're missing a couple players, including Von Miller, obviously, they're finally playing up to the level of what we expected from a Vic Fangio defense. Justin Simmons looks better. The quarterbacks look better. Bosby looked a little shaky there, but the Michael Lowe looked good. This Broncos defense is holding Cam Newton down. If they can just get some help from the offense and get the ball into the end zone, they can win this game easy. The Broncos, I don't hate to say it, I love to say it, the Broncos are the better team in the first half. If they continue to play that way in the second half, they will win this game. And let me just say one more thing. Talk about Shelby Harris vindication. Anything Melvin Gordon can do, Phillip Lindsay can do better. This guy is a true workhorse, and as predicted, he's coming in. And in the comments, guys, let me know, does anyone out there miss Melvin Gordon watching Phillip Lindsay play? He's just a whole different kind of running back. So glad to see him back in the game. You put Lindsay back there, you put Drew Lock back there, whole different offense, Chad.
All right, let's rapid fire through these super chats real quick, and then we'll get our analysis in because halftime you get 12 to 15 minutes. So let's do our best here. J Fig, Vids jumping in. Appreciate you, my dog. He said, we need touchdowns, and that is echoed. Appreciate you by Zeus McPeak himself. Really love you and appreciate you, my friend. Zeus McPeak, yeah, pay him. He says, we need to score touchdowns, not field goals. Appreciate that, Stu. And absolutely true. And more from BG here jumping in. Love you, buddy. We need to do better in the red zone. Zach, as I go through and let's rapid fire this, do you just attribute the struggles in the red zone simply to Locke and this collection of players, no Fant, right? Okwe-Bunum getting 2 shots at the end zone. I mean, Locke has fed this guy. We can go through the stats if we have more time at the end of the stream, but what do you attribute the lack of production in the red zone?
Well, Alberto dropped a catchable touchdown pass in the end zone. It wasn't a perfect ball. Locke threw it a little too hard, but that was a catchable pass. So it comes down to inexperience. It's a young player, Alberto. It's a quarterback coming off an injury, missing 2 games, and also the play calling. I hate to keep harping on Pat Shurmur, but again, when you're 3rd and 2 in the red zone, why go for the whole money shot? Pick up the first down, move the chains, and keep the clock moving, keep Cam Newton off the field. So it comes down to just mistiming and I think play calling.
Tom El Greco jumping in. Appreciate you, my friend. He says, so far, so good. Need touchdowns. The score is scaring me. And we got Miguel Henriquez. Appreciate you as well, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Really means a lot to us here. And we got some big-time energy in the chat stream. Big Kev Peterson jumping in. Love you, buddy. He says, I love our blitzing and how our secondary is covering. Zach, what has been some of your observations on the defense early on?
The blitzing is there, and it seems like a switch just flipped with Vic Fangio in last week's game. He knows that this Patriots offensive line is playing, I think, a right guard at right tackle. It's all decimated. Cam Newton is looking a little rusty. I like the fact that he's blitzing. Bradley Chubb, again, his run defense, Chad, if you've noticed, is night and day from where it was when he was a rookie. He did not know he even had to set the edge in 2018, and now he's making plays and penetrating. The defense is flying to the ball. No missed assignments, no blown coverages. Again, this is more like a Vic Fangio defense that we've been waiting to see now for a while.
Very much so. Let's grab this, the Cherries View. The Cherries View. Appreciate the super. I like seeing our guys closing the gate on defense. Locke is doing pretty good, and we can can we talk about Albert Okwe-Bunum? Imagine him and Fant. Can we finally put him in above Van Ness? Great point, Zach. This has been a revelation. What Okwe-Bunum? I mean, he's playing the Fant role right now, but you can see that established, obvious chemistry and trust that he has with Drew Lock.
It makes me sad because you picture what he can do with a healthy Noah Fant, and then you picture what they can do with a healthy Cortland Sutton in this offense. The weapons are there. The quarterback is there. And can we talk about one more thing, the protection? Through 3 drives, Drew Lock was not sacked or hit one single time in his first game with DeMar Dotson at right tackle. There's no coincidence there. I just wish he had him for the entirety of the season, Chad. The Broncos' record would have been a lot better, and Drew Lock's shoulder would be feeling a lot better today.
All right, bear with me. The chat stream is moving so fast that I gotta be on point here. Jason Ingles jumping in. Love you, buddy. Thank you. The red zone offense really needs work, but we're seeing already what Alberto can bring moving forward. Touchdowns instead of field goals in the second half will be the difference. Hashtag state of being. Hashtag football priest. Appreciate that, Jay Bone. And Zach, I mean, I'm not too worried about it. If they can come out of this half break with that same collective energy, I'm not worried about the Broncos in the second half.
I kind of am, because the worst thing you can do is let Bill Belichick hang around, and he's in a game plan right now. He's going to adjust. He's going to put another guy on Tim Patrick. He's going to kind of try to key in on Phillip Lindsay, maybe even blitz Drew Lock a little more than he's doing. You can't leave points on the board against a Bill Belichick coach team. You have to convert it to touchdowns. You cannot keep this team down forever, Chad.
Boise man, appreciate the super, says, we want Herbert. Shake my head. Indeed, my friend.
Anyone tanking for Trevor, by the way, still? Anyone out there?
Yeah. BG again, we're missing Noah Fant in the red zone. I mean, I hear you, but I don't think that's really the issue. I think the issue is Locke and Shurmur are a little out of sync, and this collection of players haven't played with Locke since week 2, which was like 6 years ago, it seems like. But up to this point in real time, it was, well, week 1 was, week 4 was October 1st. That's how long it's been. And then just since the last game, and then you go 2 more weeks beyond that. So this collection of guys in a game haven't played, Zach, in real time for basically a full month.
Yeah, and then the game being rescheduled twice, that psychological, hit that it took on them. I think for the most part, the Broncos offense is looking where we expected them to look. And if Alberto would have caught that ball, Chad, if the play calling would have been better, you talked about it, could have been 20-3. And if that was the case, we'd all be lauding this Broncos team right now more than we are.
And even that Jerry Jeudy corner right through his hands in the end zone, like that's just simply, if you're going to be an elite receiver, that's a pass. It's not an easy catch. Don't get me wrong, but that's a play you got to make, dude. And so too often up through the first 5 games, Jerry Jeudy has been an almost type of player. He's close to greatness, but he just can't quite get over the hump. Mike Evans, love you, bro. Pleased with the first half. We need to develop a screen game on offense, kind of take advantage of their aggressiveness at.
I was going to say, when they're taking these shots in the end zone, in the red zone, they're begging for something underneath to Phillip Lindsay or Jerry Jeudy, something, literally anything underneath. Let the ball in their hands, let them run. The spacing is there, Chad. They would pick up the first downs, maybe even get into the end zone. So Sherman needs to tone down the aggressiveness just a little bit in the red zone.
Naj jumping in. Good to see you, my friend. Really appreciate you. He says, brothers, got to keep up the same level of intensity in the second half. Go Broncos. And Zach, that is absolutely crucial, as I mentioned. You got to keep that energy. Dale from across the beautiful Pacific in Paradise jumping in. Appreciate the support, my friend. Albert O should have been on the field from day one. Him with Fant is a problem for anyone. I've been saying it. I feel you. And I think what this reveals, Zach, this game so far up to this point, is that all the coaching bluster about his inability to block or lack thereof, technical proficiency, it's pretty overblown. He's a playmaker. Get him on the field. Right. Let him help this offense.
Right. They didn't draft him to block. They drafted him to catch passes, and he's doing just that. So when Fant comes back healthy, which is next week, it's going to be a dynamic pairing for Drew Lock going forward.
Can't wait. Big Kev again jumping in. Appreciate you, my dog. He says, we need to play defense, punt, and not blow this 9-point lead. Yeah, man. I mean, the Broncos, I don't care what the score is, Zach, when it's all said and done. If the Broncos go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots, right. I mean, what a lift emotionally it would be, I should say, for this team. So whatever you're doing out there, Broncos, whatever you're talking about, don't take your foot off the pedal. Same mindset, same juice, same energy, same intensity. Get out there and continue getting after Cam Newton, who, I'll remind everybody, has never defeated the Denver Broncos in his decade-long career.
This is a potential season-turning game and season-turning victory for the Broncos. My only hope is they don't take their foot off the gas pedal. They don't play not to lose. They don't play scared. Like you just mentioned, keep up the aggressiveness. Keep up the same things that got them the lead in the first half, and they will come away with a victory in this game.
Prank Films jumping in. By the way, Prank Films, I don't remember what your Twitter handle is, dude, so hit me up and let me know. Alberto, is straight cheese being that big and fast? Also, Drew Lock is truly looking like a quarterback that can turn this organization around. Well said, my friend. Reach out to us. Everyone knows Chris, 24-year veteran of the Air Force. He says, let him hate, baby. Rocking the hashtag coined here by Zack Kelberman, your football priest. Love you, bro. Stu Meat jumping in. Appreciate you. He says, we know Bill will make adjustments. Yes, he will. But I think that's one of the reasons, Zach, why they decided to go aggressive early and vertical, just because they already have a counterpunch designed for Belichick's counter. Let's hope Vic will do the same, maintaining the lead, take this win. Let's go Broncos.
Yep. I
had to crack the door real quick so I can see the screen. I always close the door just because, I've got a few children that run around. They know the drill. That MHH here, the cockpit when the door is closed, they know what that means. But nevertheless, the Cherry's View again. Appreciate you.
Thank
Can
you.
We get some prayers for Colorado? Had to evacuate my GPA from the Cameron Peak fire. Yeah, prayers for Cameron Peak. I'm not I haven't been following the newswire on that, so prayers up. Absolutely. Mike, here's Mike's actual super. Love you, Mike. Appreciate you. BG, love that we haven't punted once in the first half, Zach. That's a nice distinction.
Yeah, and if Brett Rippon was starting this game, or Jeff Driscoll, or, God forbid, Blake Bortles, who that can't be a possibility any longer, they wouldn't have been the case. They would have punted the ball. And again, it just shows maybe not a true franchise quarterback yet, but the transformative ability of Drew Lock when he's under center. He's just night and day different than anything the Broncos have to offer.
I think that was on my end, boys. I don't know what happened. But the game's back on. I know. Let me just real quick. Brian, love you, buddy. Lars, he says, let's hope Belichick messes up the halftime adjustments. Great game so far. I love Albert O. Very much so. Jeff saying, Judy, is he even playing? LOL. And there's a few more in here. I don't want to miss any superstars. But, guys, quick reminder, since we are running out of time here for the halftime stream, Zach and I will be back fully letting our hair down with the gut reaction immediately following the conclusion of the game. So make sure you stick with us for that. We'll be tweeting out the links, and you'll have all that as soon as we get a little bit closer to the end of the fourth quarter. But Kevin says, Zach, we need to play defense, punt, not blow the 9-point lead. I think I've read that one. But, Kevin, we appreciate you, my dog. I don't think I've missed anybody, but if so, I'll double check on the other side and we'll get these guys back on when we do the gut reaction. But what do you expect to see in the second half, Zach? And then we'll reconvene for the gut reaction.
I expect to see the Patriots come out with a little more intensity. I expect to see a Patriots touchdown and make this game very interesting. And where it goes from there, the ball being in the Broncos' court will dictate how the final result of the game will end up, being. If the Broncos, again, can maintain the same aggressiveness and play the same defense, keep Cam Newton contained, and just get the ball in the end zone, score a couple touchdowns, Chad, they can score the upset.
I just witnessed a fumble, it looks like. I wasn't paying attention from the snap, but it looks like the Broncos might have recovered this sucker. Hold up. Let's see. Oh, man. This would be great because the Patriots, of course, deferred, and they wanted the ball in the second half. And they got it.
Was it Chubb?
They recovered. It was Chubb. Forcing the fumble. Here's the replay. Chubb just puts that tackle on skates. Boom, gets the arm, just like Super Bowl 50 almost, dude. Just Vaughn's his second strip sack on Newton. Very similar play in terms of the perfect timing. All right, we gotta dip out for now, guys. And we are talking about, for what it's worth, we're working toward putting a plan together to start doing some watch-alongs for these games as we get farther into the season. So for now, though, we're going to keep it halftime and gut reaction. Zach, can't wait to see how the second half unfolds for this team, and I still have a good feeling, though.
Same. And in regard to Chubb, Chad, he's back.
He's back,
for
baby.
Sure.
Gotta love it. All right, guys, don't forget, we will be back immediately following the game. The gut reaction is going to be fire. We won't be under any time constraints, so make sure you join us for that, and we'll see you then. For Zach, I'm Chad. We'll talk to you in about hour, 20 minutes, my friends.